This is the story of a man who had everything except belief in himself, until one experience changed the direction of his life. In a quiet, remote village surrounded by dry fields and narrow dusty roads, lived a man named Harinath. Though most people called him Harry, he was around 35 years old, simple in appearance, gentle by nature, and known for his hard-working attitude. However, he had one problem that overshadowed all his good qualities. He was extremely shy. Harry worked in a small grocery shop owned by his elder uncle. The shop was old, with wooden shelves stacked with grains, spices, oil cans, and everyday items. From morning until evening, Harry stayed busy, cleaning, arranging goods, weighing items, and packing bags for customers. But there was one thing he rarely did: talk. When customers asked questions, he would reply in short, hesitant sentences. If someone complained, he would freeze. If someone joked, he wouldn't respond. His silence made people misunderstand him. Some villagers thought he was slow. Others believed he lacked intelligence. A few even made fun of him behind his back. Why doesn't he speak properly? They would whisper. Maybe he doesn't understand anything. Others laughed. Harry heard these things, but he never defended himself. Not because he didn't have thoughts, but because he was afraid of saying the wrong thing. His uncle often lost patience with him. "You're not a child anymore, Harry," he would shout. "Learn to speak clearly. How will you survive in this world like this?" Harry would lower his eyes and nod, but nothing changed. Fear held him back every single time. Years passed like this. Harry remained the same, quiet, cautious, and unsure of himself. Then one day, something happened that forced him out of his comfort zone. Harry's uncle had to travel to a nearby town for a few days. Before leaving, he gave Harry strict instructions. "I'll be gone for 3 days," he said. "You will handle the shop. Be careful. Don't make mistakes." Harry felt nervous, but he agreed. The next morning, he opened the shop alone. At first, everything seemed fine. But soon, things began to go wrong. A customer came to buy cooking oil. Harry measured it incorrectly, giving less than required. The customer noticed and became angry, raising his voice in front of others. Soon after, another man came to return a damaged product. Harry didn't know how to respond. He tried to explain, but his words got stuck. The customer left frustrated. By afternoon, rumors spread around the village. Harry is managing the shop alone. Some came out of curiosity, others to test him. Then came the worst moment. A clever and dishonest trader entered the shop. He spoke confidently, confusing Harry with fast words and fake calculations. Before Harry could fully understand, the man had walked away with several bags of rice without proper payment. By evening, the shop was in a mess. Harry sat in silence, his heart heavy with fear. When his uncle returned the next day and saw the losses, his anger knew no limits. "What have you done?" he shouted. "I trusted you. You can't even manage a small shop. You are completely useless." Those words pierced Harry's heart. He had been scolded before, but this time something broke inside him. Without saying a word, he walked out of the shop, and kept walking until he reached the old village well on the outskirts. He sat there alone, staring at the ground. For the first time, he allowed his thoughts to speak. "Maybe they're right," he whispered to himself. "Maybe I really can't do anything right." As the sun began to set, an elderly man approached him. He was known in the village as a wise and calm person. People often called him Guruji. Seeing Harry sitting in silence, Guruji gently asked, "Why do you look so defeated, my son?" Harry hesitated at first, but something about Guruji's voice made him open up. "I fail at everything," Harry said softly. "I try, but I always make mistakes. I'm not like others. I don't speak well. I don't think fast. I just ruin things." Guruji listened patiently, then sat beside him. After a moment, he said, "Do you know what confidence is?" Harry shook his head. "It is not about never making mistakes," Guruji continued. "It is about having the courage to try again after making them." Harry looked unsure. Guruji smiled. "If you truly want to change, come to me tomorrow morning. I will give you small tasks. Nothing difficult, but you must do them. Harry wasn't convinced, but he agreed. The next morning, Harry went to Guruji's small hut. Guruji gave him his first task. Go to the marketplace, he said. Talk to 5 different shopkeepers. Ask them what they sell, how they decide prices, and what they enjoy about their work. Harry's heart started racing. Talk to strangers. He thought, but he remembered his situation and decided to try. At the market, his first attempt failed. The person ignored him. The second laughed at him. Harry almost gave up, but then he tried again. The third person listened. A fruit seller smiled and answered his questions kindly. They even had a short conversation. That small success gave Harry a strange feeling, like a tiny spark had been lit inside him. By the end of the day, he had spoken to 6 people. The next day, Guruji gave him another task. Stand near the school road, he said. Help children cross safely, and say something kind to each one. Harry felt awkward, but he obeyed. As children passed, he began speaking. Walk carefully. Good job. Be safe. At first, his voice trembled, but slowly, it became steady. Some children smiled back. A few even thanked him. That day, Harry realized something important. Speaking didn't always lead to embarrassment. Sometimes, it created connection. On the 3rd day, Guruji gave him the hardest task. Now go back to your uncle, he said. Tell him clearly that you want to learn again. Harry froze. This was the moment he feared the most. But this time, he didn't run away. He walked to the shop, stood at the entrance, and took a deep breath. Uncle, he said. His uncle looked up, surprised. Harry continued, his voice shaking but clear. I made mistakes, but I want to improve. Please give me another chance. Teach me properly. There was silence for a few seconds. Then his uncle sighed and said, All right, Harry, let's start again. From that day forward, things slowly changed. Harry began learning not just how to manage the shop, but how to communicate. He practiced speaking with customers. He learned how to handle money carefully. He asked questions without fear. Each small step made him stronger. Weeks turned into months. People in the village began to notice. Is this the same Harry? They asked. He speaks so confidently now. Harry was still the same person, but now he believed in himself. One day, a customer visited the shop and said, You run this place very well. Are you the owner? Harry smiled and replied, Not yet, but maybe someday. The truth is simple. Confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you build, step by step, moment by moment. Every time you try despite fear, every time you speak despite doubt, every time you stand up after failure, you grow stronger. Like Harry, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be the smartest or the boldest. You just need to believe. I can learn. I can try. I can improve. And that belief can change everything.